happened to me, and I would actually guess this hasn't happened to you, is that I've lost a lot of friends. Now, I didn't have that many friends, and I'm not like that social a guy. And some of my best friends are not my friends anymore because of.
It's because you live in New York. If you lived in Texas, that you'd have the same friends.
I guess so. I guess
this place is different, man.
I mean, it is shitty to realize that there are people who will let their political views or their feelings about. I mean, and I feel strongly. First of all, I feel strongly as right about the lockdowns and right about the vaccines. I also feel strongly that even if I'd been wrong, it's my right as an American to be wrong and to be publicly wrong. And I feel like taking people's rights to, whether it's to go outside and play in a playground or the choice to be vaccinated or not, that is just as wrong as can be. Even if it works, it's wrong, okay? Unless, if you're dealing with something that's going to kill, 98% of the world or whatever, by the way, then you wouldn't have to have any rules. People would stay inside, till the end of time. But it was striking and upsetting to me that people who I'd known for years would say to me basically, screw you, I don't like the way you think, I don't like the way you've been talking about this, and I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I mean, that's your right, but God, what does it say about what our relationship was? It's
not a good relationship, and you're better off without those people. You got off light. You don't want those people in your life. They're weak. It's not, there's a lot of people that there was a lot of people that were very pro-vaccine, that were very anti what I was doing, that I still am friends with. And my God, so many of them turned around. My God. I mean, the numbers are crazy. The numbers of people that have emailed me or texted me or called me.
They say to you, hey, you were right about that.
Yeah, comics in particular. Comics that, really thought that this was their way back to touring.
Huh.
And they would text me, hey, man, I think what you're doing is bad for us because, we need to tour and this and that. And I'm like, dude, if you get vaccinated, if this really works, you shouldn't care about me because I can't give it to you.
That's right.
What are you talking about?
That's right.
So I have to do it so it protects you. I have to wear a condom so your wife doesn't get pregnant when you have sex with her. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
What you're saying is nonsense. But it's a narrative, and it's a narrative that was based on fear. And I understand their perspective. Look, I came within a moment of getting the vaccine.
Huh.
The only reason why I didn't get the vaccine was because I would have had to go. The UFC allocated a certain amount of vaccines for their employees. I showed up on the day of the fights, and I was going to get vaccinated right before I called the fights. I didn't think it was a big deal. I'm like, maybe I'll be tired. I don't give a shit. I can do this. So I showed up and I said, hey, can I get the vaccine? And they said, yeah, let me work this out. We'll call you right back. And then they said, because I called Dana White and I said, hey, how many you got? Well, we got them for everybody. We got one for you. I go, great, let's do it. And so then they said I had to go to the clinic, and I said, well, I can't now because it's Saturday. They said, can you come back on Monday? And I said, I'm back home on Monday. I said, but I'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll do it then. I said, good. So I was like, okay, good, in 2 weeks. Within that time period, 2 people I know had strokes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was this was spring of last year? Or,
This was full-on pandemic, right when the vaccines started getting distributed to regular people. It was old people at first.
Must have been February, March.
Somewhere around then. And it was a weird moment where I was like, whoa. And then a couple of people that I knew that
these were folks who'd gotten vaccinated and
Yes.
then almost immediately had strokes.
Within 10, 15 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I didn't know if that was the case, but one of them was a fit guy who was in his 50s, and the other one was in his 40s. It was weird, and it got me like, whoa. And then it brought me back to all of my thoughts that I had always had about pharmaceutical companies and studies. Yeah. And what I understand from talking to people, from talking to researchers, when they would describe how they were allowed to throw out studies that didn't fit their narrative,
Yep.
and that they would do 10 studies, and then they'd have 2 bias studies that showed, 100% effective because, 2 people got it in the control, but 4 people got it in the COVID. So that means, it was weird monkeying of data, the opposite. 2 people got it in the.
Yep.